Is that the wrong person? Okay. This is such a dumb map. I mean, man, props to anyone who plays through this without... Props, I don't know. It's a level of insanity beyond me. Okay. Things should work this time. Let's give this a try. What a map. What a map. Oh, good. You got a movement star anyway. Okay, now, Olwen, if you could get a movement star here, although I know the odds are slim. Want to make sure, well, I don't think she's going to go through 22 tomes, but... I always planned on Olwen being able to just wipe these guys. I think she is super safe in here. It's just a matter of killing all those guys. Now we've got to do some silencing, and we also... well, we don't have Galzus over here anymore, but, Dermot... Maybe? I don't know, we'll see. Thanks, Dermot. Here I am, like, disrespecting all these guys. You know, in theory... We could have rescued, Laura or something, I guess. Okay, Galzus... Maybe Galzus will get a movement star anyway. Maybe Maka will get a movement star anyway. Maybe Ocean. Alright, Leaf is nice for cleaning up because he's so fast he can always catch up. Although, I should be making saves again because what screwed up my mostly successful first run was, of course, standing on a warp tile. He does have a scroll. I thought for a second I forgot to give him a scroll, but now he's good. Alright, don't mess up the... Actually, that's not a bad plan. Get some more vision on the right side here. Easier to plan out. Yeah, just don't mess up the silencing. Alright. So... ambush warp reinforcements are at least dealt with, and I mean, I haven't tested it. Maybe they don't even do what I'm saying they would do. Maybe they just wait a turn before they warping them, or they just make a room full of monsters and they don't warp. But I doubt it. Yes, that's the same spot exactly. I know. I am sorry. Just for interest's sake. Can't get to the guy in the middle with that. Okay, Blue. Stop standing on that tile. There you go. Easy. Just don't stand on the warp tiles. Man, imagine playing it blind. You just walk on them all. Alright, as far as I know, Olwen should completely trash these guys. There should be no contest. As long as they attack her, they die. I mean, she could miss a 99 or something, but she could also crit. Alright, if they want to fight her in there, that's great. She can handle it. Okay, let's keep this moving. Let's finish this map up. Let's put her on the safety tile, have her zap Sleep Guy. If they want to fight her for this tile, I mean, bring it on. I'd rather they teleport into here. She can burn through a lot of spells. I can save some Dire Thunders and switch over to Thunder anyway. I think she'd also be fine, but I can also rescue her out if I need to. Okay, Linoan, I swear they check who's got the Restore Staff and they target them, hey? Isn't that funny? You need a C rank. Oh, but you don't have any C ranks nearby, Blue, so you'll have to just suffer being silenced. Or put to sleep, or whatever. I did put a save down already, I just, forgive me for being a little bit, what's the word, paranoid? It's not paranoid if they really are out to get you. Do kind of remember that this door has a trap tile on it. Remember, I think I saw that. Some of them sort of stand out. Oh, you know what we could do? That's not enough damage. That doesn't matter. In fact, if I gave him the Blizzard Tome, that would have been a nice. This is the last status user, and it, you know, saved me some restore uses. Killed him. It's fine. Actually, I'm pretty sure there's a tile along the north side of this wall somewhere. If you stand in the perfect tile, you can do this. Just gotta find the perfect spot. First off, let's just clean up some inventory space with that warp staff. Then, now that there's nothing else to worry about, we can stores. Amazing level up. And then we'll get Linoan, I suppose, next turn. Okay. Sorry if I'm not talking much. I just doing lots of thinking. We're looking pretty good though. I don't care about getting a silent staff at this point. Let's just open that door. We know there's a trap in front of it anyway, so just get that out of the way and I can ditch it. Move you up a bit. Warping up to Ivel seems almost like a waste. Oh, it's a perfect personal weapon. You can't actually throw them away. Warping up to Ivel seems kind of dumb because we have to have everyone get to the exit anyway, so there's not really any shortcutting this map. Did she get captured? Are you joking? Maybe unlocking her door was a huge mistake. Well, don't worry guys, here I am showing you all the cool tricks and stuff not to do in Thracia, because apparently Everything is designed, and now we... Oh! You see what happened? We had vision on her because she was a statue that could see. But as soon as I opened the door to get to her, someone just kidnaps her. I might have to go back a save. We'll see. Fun! $18 and $18. The combat, as always, is almost inconsequential at this point. It's so weird how Fire Emblem's like defining feature, I would generally say, is this combat. But in this game, the combat plays like second fiddle to cheap tricks and mechanics, you know? Like, sure, early game the combat had some difficulty, but at some point our characters just outpace the enemy's strength so fast. I mean, they'll never catch up. Really hoping for like a movement star. Leaf, could you get a movement star, buddy? We don't have any torches left. I don't know if that's even close enough to see any. I don't know if this will give us vision, but I have to try. Sort of. I mean, this might be close enough I can block the stairway. Maybe we'll get a movement star. Hilarious. Imagine playing this blind. Just imagine right now that you're playing this game blindly. And you 18%. Yeah, you're just playing this game for blindly, maybe for the first time. Every corner, there's no way to guess whatever random tile I stopped on was going to be a game over. Well, it's not exactly a game over, you understand, but it's so dumb. We have combat where the enemies can't even hurt us. Unless they get away with a 1%, whatever, it's not quite literally 0% chance to kill, but they have comparatively terrible odds of actually defeating us in any combat. But then they can practically game over you with a bad teleporting spot. Hilarious. Was it this tile? I want to double check. Yeah. Isn't that great? I bet you the enemies are immune to it too. Like, just to make you think you might know what's going on, I bet you this guy will move in here and not get teleported. So, look forward to that. Well, I guess we can do some healing. We actually so rarely take any damage. It's kind of funny. I mean, that's part of it, you know. Now, we could go faster, but I'd like to have all my casters able to cast. Sure, we can go faster again. Can't rewarp because I can't see where Ivil is. Can't really warp anyone up there. I mean, I could probably block the stairs with someone that won't die. Galzus? Eh. Eh. I came this way for Ivil. If they literally kidnap her and get her off the map, and then she's killed as a statue. I mean, that is just so trolly. Like, I totally believe Thracia would do that. So troll. Also, I've realized bringing Dalston was a mistake. We can speed him along a little bit, but yeah, we should only bring high-speed movement characters, I guess. Oh yeah, Olwen. Do we care about getting a Silent Staff? I don't care. We didn't even break her first Dire Thunder. That's how overpowered we are. Alright. Boss zone captured. Okay, Ivel's back. Gal just took a hit there, though. A big hit. But I think he would have needed to take 3 to die. Oh, right, ambush reinforcements that can shoot you through walls. Yeah, I mean, this is partially classic Fire Emblem, where they can just shoot through walls, but it's also pretty lame. But whatever. Okay. Nobody died. Everything is under control. Let's... I mean, under control is a relative term, but... Yeah, Tina's probably not going to die to... Well, I mean, she could... Well, no, neither of these could have killed... Hell would just drop us to 1. Jormungandr's not going to one-shot Ocean. Okay, we need Sarah to get up there. Yeah, I mean, of course. Sure, whatever. I just want to have a bit of vision over here. I don't even think I want to go to the left side of the map at this point. I just want to get out of here. This place is hell. Should be able to get Ivel next turn. This walk-in's gonna take a little while. Be nice to get some heals. I guess we could, let's see. I don't want to leave anyone back here significantly, but we've only got a physic. To be honest, I have a fair number of physics. It's not a big problem. Nice. You know, one thing that would have been cool is if I'd given the boots to Laura so the dancer can move faster. I've done that before in plenty of Fire Emblems. It is quite cool when your dancer can keep up better, because you can kind of chain dances more reliably when you can when they can keep moving. Like on a speedy map, sure, having one unit go ultimately high speed like Karen, that's cool. But every turn, if the dancer can keep up, you can boost. Like, you can keep a lot of people moving forward, like a lot of your army, and if everyone needs to escape, you're kind of delayed by your slowest character. Well, you could rescues and warps and stuff. So but those are resources, right? Like, those cost you resources. Is there anyone outside that would like to attack? Just in case you're just waiting below the doorway. Just come up and fight, that'd be fine. You know what? Ced could die. I didn't even think about it. Fun game. Yeah. Great game. Warp tiles everywhere. We got Jerks who shoot you through the wall. Jerks that drop you to 1 HP if they hit you, and then you can be killed by anything. Yeah, this map's pretty much the worst. I actually don't think it's really under. There's no contention. This is just the worst map. You might enjoy this map. If you enjoy this map, good for you. Doesn't mean it's not the worst. I have heard that most people skip it, which is kind of lame. Well, I mean, I understand. Don't get me wrong. The reason I think it's lame is that this is well, it's the second last map in the game, and it is the conclusion to Ivel's story arc, and she is one of the main characters of the game, and in fact, is in genealogy with a different name. You might remember her. She was not a swordmaster, but she had basically the same portrait, and, you know, was one of the main chicks. Well, one of the important chicks, let's say. And, I mean, she's like, she raised Leaf, or took Leaf in with, like, Finn brought Leaf here. She's, she raised Marita. Like foster mother, basically, I guess. I mean, like, she is a very important character in the story. So to just skip the chapter where you save her seems like she was also, like, I would argue she's top 5, maybe even top 3 important characters in Thracia. And this is the chance to save her. Like, one of the main objectives that Leaf has had its entire story is to rescue Ivel. And to just be like, well, the map that she's on is terrible, so let's not bother. I mean, can you imagine? We only get to use this once, so here we go. I turned animations on. There's no animation for that. Cheap. So she actually doesn't join you. You get to see her stats again, which, well, they're not that amazing anymore. She was unkillable early game, but now she's just sort of average, or kind of below average, honestly. I think we've got 2 ways to recruit her. Let's send Marita in, and I might show off the other dialogue if you can't after. Mother, hang on, Mother. Mother, can you hear me? I'm so sorry. What are you crying for? Ah, good. You're back to your senses. Now let's go. Wait, where am I? Mother, you're all right. Of course I am. You think Radric's goons would be able to do me in? Give your old mom some credit. Speaking of him, where did that dastard run off to? Oh yeah, Radric's dead. Leaf got him. Oh, Mother, so much happened. One of the Loptrian bishops working for Radric had turned you to stone. Oh, Vels. Right, that guy. That man's dangerous. Where is he? Well, we're hunting him. We've taken the fight to the Loptrians' home. This is the secret stronghold. Mother, please, we need your help. I've prayed for the day when I could fight alongside you. Ah, you don't even have to ask. I've always got your back. Still, not to bring down the mood, I'm sorry for everything, but I can tell that must have put you kids through a lot. Alright. Ivel's back, y'all. Yeah, so we can't actually talk to her with Leaf now. It's kind of weird. You only get to do one talk convo, but let's see if Leaf rescues her or talks to her what she gets. Ivel, come on. It's me, Leaf. Lord Leaf. Ah, little Lord. What are you doing here? You gotta break out of here, quick. Ivel, things are very different now. I'm like a year older. I'm a prince now. I'm cool. Different? What's gotten into your head? We're still in the... Oh, where am I? Thank goodness. There, you're just like how you were before. What's going on? Sorry, not enough time to explain, even though your daughter could. I don't have enough time to explain it. All you need to know is we're fighting to liberate Thracia from the Empire, and we're in the middle of recapturing Munster. We need your strength. Too old to call me commander, I see. Alright, a lot must have happened. We'll talk later, but we'll have time to catch up after, right? Of course! Okay, I think Marita did it better, but anyway, she's back, y'all. And I brought her her sword. So she's got her sword back. I think she actually had a sword, but the Berserker stole it, and then we killed him, and therefore it disappeared into... It's a little pile on the side of the staircase it's illegal goods we're not allowed to take. Okay, let's get out of here. This map, nobody likes this map. I don't know where we can stand on the staircase. It's probably all a trap. Was this tile dangerous? I don't know. I think it was one up from here or something. That seems fine. I don't know. We'll still get some teleporting mages jumping on us. This might have been a warp? No. Can't even really remember where all the warps are even after I see them. It's terrible. And I don't think I'm gonna like burn a whole. I should have moved here and then danced. I don't want to burn a bunch of warps and rescues just to get out of here a little bit quicker. Mind you, I'm tempted. So this tile, cool. I should maybe, like, you know, the experience would be different if I had a bunch of the teleporting tiles open on the side screen. I could have done that. You know, I could have kept the map open so you guys could see, or so I could see at the very least. And that would have made this less painful. But that would, well, you wouldn't get the true experience, I think, is what that would be, right? Like, I'm trying to show off the fun of teleporting tile random maps. Just in case you didn't believe me when I said this is terrible. If I completely bypassed everything, then you'd just be like, Blue, we didn't even show it. That looked easy. No, no one's say that. But. Just in case, you know, just in case. I should really just be saving like every turn. So we know there was a trap tile on the stairs. Like, but this, like, I swear, if you were playing blind, you would probably hit, like, every trap tile on the entire map. I don't remember which one it is. And I don't know if you'd have enough rescue staves to even save, like, even if you remember it. Let's say you've got a better memory and you're like, I got warped there, let's not stand there again. And you could do better than I'm doing for remembering them. Don't get me wrong. You could be making a map or taking notes or something. Clearly, I'm not able to do that while I'm let's playing and trying to... I mean, part of it is, like, while you're talking, it's harder to remember all these sorts of things. I'm not legitimately trying to throw here and just, you know, walk into traps over and over again. I promise you, I'm not trying to do that. It's just hard to remember. And that's my story. I'm sticking to it. I guess we need to open that door up, but the Liffus can handle that. It seems like the rewarpers just sort of gave up. I didn't check like how many turns they reinforced. Nice. Maybe once you recruit Ivel, they stop. So maybe if you just turn one warp to Ivel and restored her, they would just give up. I mean, that would be kind of ridiculous if it's true. But you never know. I mean, the way this game works, the mechanics are all a little bit fun. Like I said, you'd probably hit every single one if you're playing it blindly. And I literally saw them on the map, and I still, like, almost every single one. Maybe multiple times. I would just like to know how this got past any kind of beta testers. Like, games are supposed to be fun, right? And challenging is part of the fun. I will accept that some people enjoy different levels of difficulty. It's not as simple as, like, game hard, bad, game easy, good, or something dumb like that. It doesn't work like that. different people enjoy different challenges. But there have to be some kind of objective or mostly objective measures on whether mechanics are engaging and fun. And a lot of that, I would say, revolves around the player's autonomy, being in control. Like, pick a difficult game that we're familiar with that's classically frustrating. Like, let's say a Mega Man game, just because we listened to some Mega Man music recently. The old NES Mega Mans are, I would say, known for being quite difficult, right? Like, we're not breaking new ground here. They're NES hard. They're punishing. A lot of the bosses do a lot of damage. Your gun is pathetic. You get knocked off and instant death into pits and spikes. You know, it's a tough platformer. Now, at the time, a lot of NES platformers were of a comparable difficulty, let's just say. That was not unusual. That was kind of the standard, the status quo. But most of the difficulty, maybe not all of it, I do remember some cheap disappearing, like, you had to make a few blind jumps. But generally not. Like, most of the game, you didn't have to do completely blind jumps. I would say, like, in a platformer, making jumps of faith where you don't know where to land, that would be bad design. But, like, there's a couple maps where you're falling and you just have to guess left or right. Like, that's bad. I remember that, at least. But most of the time, that's not how it works. Most of the time, you are in control of whether or not your character takes a hit. You have the ability to dodge enemies, to kill them, to do your platforming, and as your skill grows, you will, generally speaking, die less and kill more. So once you've played Mega Man games, you've maybe even not. You could play Mega Man 4 and you've never played it before. Like, it could be new to you. You would not have any knowledge of what's behind this room, but you have enough, like, what I call it, enough skill with the platforming. And in an RPG or Fire Emblem, it's more tactical knowledge and strategies, some RPG stats. You know, it's a little bit different. Action platformer skill is different than, you know, tactical RPG skill. But what I'm trying to say is, there are what I would consider objectively bad mechanics in something like Mega Man, and I'm sure they're well documented, and I think over time the series has tried to reduce those kinds of mechanics that are, again, arguably bad. Blind jump, you know, whatever. The point is, I guess what I'm trying to get to is, it's like things the player doesn't have control over. Let's stick to similarities here. In Thracia, the things you have no control over are invisible teleporting tiles that either kill you. Let's just see what's down here, for instance. I guess they aren't moving, so, you know, he might not die, but if this happened at the end of your turn, he would be, especially if you didn't silence the, I don't know, I mean, like, in theory, it's not like you definitely die, but you know what I mean, like, there's a much higher chance of dying there, and you have no control over, at least the first time, walking through this room. And you can say, sure, you just gotta memorize it, but, like, that's what I mean with Mega Man. Wait, what? Oh, I danced him and then he walked onto one. I think we walked right past that one. We didn't even notice it the first time through. Good job, Dawson. You found another trap tile. But yeah, I mean, I don't see any way to predict where these things are. And while strictly speaking, one warp tile is not a game over, it's like losing a life in Mega Man. And you have a limited amount of resources. There's only so many rescue staves, and I would say I've hoarded rescue staves very greedily. I have not used a lot of warp and rescue staves in my playthrough. So I've got quite a few, and I still only have like 3 or 4 rescues to spare. Which means approximately you could land on 3 or 4 trap tiles, assuming you could survive this room. And then after that, anybody that got warped down there would be they would just die. So we came here to rescue Ivel. Assumedly, you get there with Sarah, and then that's it. If anybody else just dies, you've lost them forever. I mean, there's only one more map, but what a huge letdown, right? Like, just invisible teleporting trap tiles that you can't see in the darkness. There's no way to know where they're going to be unless you've memorized the map, and you don't really have control over it. I guess that's what I was trying to get to. I'm just rambling here because there's not much else to talk about, but like, you as a player have very little control over whether or not a character dies. And ambush reinforcements are like that as well, where they show up, warp, and if the AI is smart, they kill somebody that you can't really protect. There's not... The option is like bringing them on the map or not bringing them on the map. Because if they exist on the map, an ambush reinforcement, as we call them, right? If they spawn from the darkness or just randomly show up in the middle of your formation, I mean, explain to me again how you could prevent that, right? So it's out of the player's control, and it's, I mean, again, we could argue effectivity or not. It's practically a game over. There's, you know, you don't need every single unit to be alive. I totally get it. I've said this lots of times now, probably beating a dead horse here. But I would definitely call that very bad mechanic. And that's why I was originally, like, 20 minutes ago when the rant started, that's why I was like, what about the beta testers? Who tested this map? Who made sure it was fun? It could be challenging. You're like, don't worry, guys. This is a hard map. It's difficult. I understand. But is it engaging? Is it fun? Does it feel like an accomplishment to beat it? I don't think this map feels like an accomplishment to beat it. I think I brute force it until you die enough that you learn the spots to teleport to, the perfect combo of items you have to bring. And if you don't have them, well, it sucks to be you. If you don't have any rescue staffs or warp staffs left, and restore, like, you at the very least need restore, rescue, and warp to not lose units permanently for cheap tricks. And if you don't have them, sucks to be you. Start over. I mean, basically game over. I don't know how you could clear this map, honestly, without warps and restores and stuff. Maybe just lose half your army or something. This is another strike against Thracia being a good game in my mind. And I mean, I came in here pretty well prepared, and I'm still leaving thinking this was disgusting. Who made this map, basically? Is it just so far late into the game that no one bothered to test it, really? Because it was, you know, this is a very, very long game. Maybe it takes 60, 70 hours to get here. Like, maybe it's hard to get testers back in the 90s that would actually dedicate the time to thoroughly test every map. I don't know. I don't know. Gotta go back in time. Ivel, I just wanted to see you so bad. Every day we spent fighting the Empire was another night I spent dreaming of this reunion. She's too old for you. Now that the dream has come true, I'm glad you're all right. Has it been a whole year? Oh, little lord. Well, I guess you're not so little anymore. You're a real man now, and a prince. Wink, wink. Ivel, I never thanked you. It's only because of you I was able to have a peaceful childhood. For 3 happy years, I was able to play with other kids in Fianna, spending every day just as carefree as a normal boy. I learned how to fight, and I even roughhoused with the children. Do you remember how many times you had to scold me? Even that could be fun. Haha, I like it when you scold me. I spent my life on the run, and it was just another new experience. We didn't share blood, but we were a family. Finn as Papa Finn, you as Mama, Nana and Marita for sisters. Oh yeah, Nana! She's like her literal daughter. I should have tried to talk to her. I didn't even bring Nana. Is Nana literally her daughter? I feel like that's... No, maybe? I can't remember. Also raised in the same team. I think she might literally be her daughter. Oops. I even got to make friends with some boys like Ocean and whoever that other axe guy was. Back then, they only wanted The only thing I wanted was for those days to go on forever. Thanks, Ivel. Just like having a mother again. You gave me back the warmth of family I'd forgotten. You and little Nan wandered the village with Finn, who was hurt so bad he could hardly manage. Little Nan was begging me to save her father. Cute eye. Oh, right, that's right. Nana is Finn's daughter. The timeline on that is a bit sketch. Right. Finn and somebody from the first genealogy. And then it was like... Right, because that was the thing with Beowulf. Yeah. It depended on who you matched it up. It was like Rayquaziz or Rayquaz something or rather. I remember her. She was like important. She was the mother of Nana and Dermot. And it was always those two from her. But the parent could change. I think canonically it was supposed to be Beowulf because Dermot is like the same as Beowulf and has the Beowulf sword. So it sort of makes sense. But it's also questionable as like maybe Finn was the father of one of the two kids because Nana is like his daughter really close. So it was always like maybe she had two partners, you know, right? I think that was the idea. Okay, sorry, I got confused, but yeah, I think that's what that all was. You looked me dead in the eye, held up the sword that was on your belt and said, I'll give you this if you help him. It wasn't until later I realized how much it meant to you. The blade was an heirloom from your mother. But I remember thinking, or wondering, just what kind of ordeal must these three have been through to make the little boy so calm? I can't remember my own childhood, little lord. 10 years ago, the villagers of Iz found me washed up ashore. I don't know anything about what I did before that. So 10 years ago would be after the destruction of Sigurd's army and, what, 6 years before now or something. Who was I? Did I have a husband? Kids? Probably. But when I met you, I realized something real bad must have happened in my youth too. So I figured if I couldn't remember my own childhood, I could do the next best thing and give a childhood to two kids that needed. Never imagined you'd turn out to be like the Prince of Leonster, though. Truth be told, I was always a little jealous of Marita. I would look at her and think, if only I had a mother I could depend on, like she does. I cried about that more times than I could count. But I never realized I did have a mother all along. You. You found a way to love us all equally, without condition. I'll never be able to express my gratitude. Oh, little lady. Come on, you're the Princess of Nordion. The blood of Holder runs through your veins. There's no doubt in my mind your mother's out there somewhere. Maybe. I mean, look what happened to me. Stranger things have happened. Just keep watching out for little Leaf. Never give up. You'll find her again. I think Nana and Leaf are supposed to match up too, isn't that? Maybe not guaranteed, but like, that's sort of the idea. They are kind of childhood siblings, so that's a little bit creepy. But you know how it is over in Japan. Let's not get into it. It's good to have you back, Ivel. I've been trying to help these lads best I could, but no one could replace you. Hey, you're alive, Dagnar. Right on. Well, without your help defending Fianna, I don't think I could have survived. We made quite the team. Don't be stupid. I didn't really do much. Papa, your face is all red. Cut it out. Commander, it wasn't just Lord Leaf. You've been like a mother. This is more dialogue here than like the last 10 chapters combined. You've been like a mother to all the children of Fianna, especially me and my sister. After we lost our parents, you were there for us. You practically raised us. So, I've been fighting just to get you back. Alvin, I'm sorry about that. When it's all over, let's head back to Fianna, hey? Poor little Patricia's probably worried half to death over us. Like a mother, eh? Well, Ma passed a long time ago, but Pa ain't going anywhere. Guess having that old coot around is still better than not having anyone. I think I finally get it. Nice to hear you say that, you big lug. You've got it better than someone like Alvin. Ocean, take good care of your papa. And when you make it back to Fianna, eh? Marita, what's wrong? What are you doing over there by yourself? Oh, mother. Come on, you're a beautiful woman now. Don't go making a mess of your face with all those tears. There, sweet pea. I'm okay. Everything's gonna be alright. And just who are you? I had half a mind just to leave, but I had to spare you a few words. I'm not much for talk, so... Edgy. My daughter. How you've raised her, what you made of her. Thanks. You're Marita's. Yeah, that's me. Her mother died giving birth, and after that, the kid and I wandered the world. Not proud of it, but one day I took my eyes off her. A slaver took her. She was just a little girl when I found her, wrapped up in chains and for sale at Connacht. When I saw her, I just lost it. I killed every last slaver, and the bodyguards too. I'd have done anything to get those damn chains off her. She said her name was Marita and that her father, she'd been with her father. I tried to get her home and find you, but I couldn't. No, you're not to blame. I never should have lived a nomad's life with such a kid anyway. My daughter was very lucky to find you. This is selfish of me, but I think it'd be best if you were the one who watched over her. I agree, she's my daughter and she's been for years. I wouldn't let you take her anyway. Good. After this is over, I'll go back to my way of life. You'll never have to see me again. Then before you leave, I have one last favor, Algalzus. Name it. Anything within my power is yours. Once every year, visit us in Fianna. That's all I ask. Very well. The dialogue train continues. Ivel, I regret I couldn't do more for you, but after everything you've done for us, I want to say how grateful I am. I'm grateful to you too, Finn, for everything you've done for Fianna. I couldn't have found a finer knight in all of Jugril. He might be the best knight in Jugril. He's the most loyal knight. I never planned to tell you this, but after overhearing about your amnesia, it wouldn't be right to stay silent. Oh, right, and he knows... Right. So Finn was part of the original crew. He should know everyone from the original crew that, you know, died during the whole incident. Or didn't die. I once knew a woman who looked just like you. Are you sure you're not just confused? No, I'm certain. When Lord Quan fought in Lord Sigurd's army, God rest their souls, there was a woman, a soldier, who served with us. She was an unmistakable sight on the battlefield, with her long blonde hair waving in the wind. You could mistake her for a goddess. She was the eldest lady of House Ingvi, inheritor of the Holy Bull Eufel. Her name was Brigid. Brigid? Finn, are you saying that was me? Yes, well, probably. I never took you for a romantic, Finn. If I had holy blood, I'd have a brand somewhere, but I don't. You got the wrong person, Finn. Just an ordinary sellsword. What happens? I mean, it wouldn't apply to Thracia. But couldn't Finn and Bridget romance? Because you could always pair people up however you wanted in genealogy. Boy, that would put a twist on this. But yeah, Bridget had a couple kids, so you'd think she might care. But whatever, let's leave that for later. Okay, I don't want to rant about this map any longer. I think I've said my piece. Ch24x was terrible as far as gameplay goes. Thematically, I liked it. I just think they took it too far, and with classic Thracia overreaction. If you just took out the teleporters into the unescapable room, fine. You know, invisible silence berserk mages we're kind of used to. It's not too difficult to silence the warping ambush guys. The rewarpers are annoying but not unreasonable. The Devil Axe guys is fine. It's just, especially the teleporting tiles, that's too much. And I mean, I'm not a fan of ambush reinforcements, but that's been pretty consistent throughout the whole game. So that aside, setting thematically, this is one of the, I would say, as far as Thracia is concerned, this is one of the most emotionally hitting maps of the game. We have the map where Leaf gets captured, the map where Ivel gets turned to stone, the very first map when Nana and Marita get kidnapped, lots of filler maps in between. This is like top 3 or 4 of like story maps. It's like some of the most important story in the game. It's in a guidance chapter you can miss at a map that at the end of it you probably just want to kill yourself. Hypothetically, or slightly exaggerated, of course. Which really brings it down in my, like, I'm having a hard time separating, like, I enjoyed the story, the theme, the setting, the dialogue, because this game doesn't have a lot of dialogue between characters. It's one of the things missing is there's not a lot of chats between units. This finally caught up on some of the main story from the very beginning of the game. This is the big emotional bam, which I appreciate. Don't get me wrong. But I think how they present it in terms of gameplay mechanics, you know, nearly ruins it for me. And it really dulls the hit. Whereas, for instance, and I'm just going to draw a parallel here, remember the unforgettable moment in FE4 when all of Sigurd's army died. And that was a tough map in terms of slogging through the desert, watching Quan and whatever his wife's name was killed, seeing Altina get captured. And honestly, you're fighting through the desert, fighting like wyverns that, you know, ambush you. They fly over and canto away. You've got enemy mages with long-range casts. You fight your way through. In fact, you see Sigurd's dad at the beginning of that map sort of stumble away from a castle, dying to give his sword. I think that was the same map, right? That was all part of the last chapter there. Anyway, the way I remember it was all of that was a big long trial for Sigurd and his army. All of the characters kind of say a farewell message to their wife to take the kids away because they know something bad is going to happen. You fight your way through this sort of final arc. You're going to seize the capital, clear your name. You get that moment of victory where you meet up with whatever his name was, Julius's father, the fire mage. I forget his name now off the top of my head. You see Lord Sigurd meet his wife Deirdre, who's been kidnapped. You have this moment of like, are we okay? Did we win? And then you're crushed, you know, just absolute crushed. But the story is kind of reinforced by the gameplay mechanics of that chapter. It didn't feel like the mechanics were unfair or different or cheap, at least in my feelings. It felt like a trial that kind of was built up from the previous chapters, but was still difficult, but not really, nothing particularly unfair. I didn't remember it. I mean, maybe it's, you know, a little bit of bias here. It's been a while since I played it. So that's like a comparable story moment, probably one of the best ones in Fire Emblem in Fire Emblem history. So, you know, I'm putting it on a high pedestal. That's like the best practically of a lot of Fire Emblems. But then here we are in Thracia, the sequel, which is building on the same story and characters, and this was kind of the same similar style. Leaf, you know, reconnecting with his family, but the chapter killed it, like ruined, you know, I'm exaggerating a little bit, but it nearly ruins the moment by having the chapter so unfairly punishing. If you didn't reload it, you probably would have lost half your army to the execution chamber or ambush spawns killing people. It would have been incredibly bittersweet and hard to really swallow if you made it to Ivel, only to find out that Marita and Nana and, I don't know, Finn, any other important characters, literally died due to cheap mechanics. In my mind, I'm calling them, like, it feels cheap, on the way to saving her, or even after saving her, someone getting, you know, hit by a teleporting portal and just game over for them. It's too much. I'm sure some people think it was really compelling, and I'm, you know, fair point. Some people will like it, but I really feel like the balance is so far off that the majority of players have to come out of this just feeling a little bit queasy, that the map was just rough, and even if the story was good, it's really hard to take it as an overall win for Thracia. Anyway, I've gone on way longer than I intended, but that's my end of my BlueAnkylo rant. This is it. There are no more Darkness chapters. All that's left is the final chapter. I will do my preps and talk about that next episode. And then I will spend more time, of course, doing my final review of Thracia. And I will try to be fair. I don't think this is a terrible game. I would have, just again, I would not be playing it if I thought it was bad. But I think it's oddly almost overhyped. People acknowledge that it's hard and punishing, but there's a lot of defenders I hear of this game that are like, but it's worth it. Even if it is kind of not fair and certain mechanics are garbage, it's still worth it. And I'm starting to disagree, but anyway, I'll save that for the final wrap-up. Thanks for watching, folks. Hope you've enjoyed the series. I've got lots to say, apparently, and Blue likes to ranty low every now and then. I'll see you next time for the final chapter. Hope you've enjoyed. Have a great day.